What's going on, blurs, nerds, and everybody in between? It's your boy Wyatt, the sensei of the syndicate, here with another episode of With the BS. And today we are having a great conversation. So I don't know if y'all know this, but I really like wrestling, or some people know it as wrasslin. It is one of the things that we talk about. It's a pastime. Yes, we do know that they're scripted. So like I don't want to hear any of that stuff, but it's a great source of entertainment. So we we wanted to go ahead and have a tournament because it's March, so we're gonna have tournaments all throughout this month. And so we wanted to have one with the greatest tag teams. So we went ahead, put together 32 different tag teams, and just wanted to see who would be the best. Now, I know Tots was asking how are we going to go ahead and debate it. So there's different levels of skill. There's different levels of when it comes to matches, that how they have matches, the different levels of it, and just purely entertainment value. So today we're gonna go ahead, talk this stuff out, see what we like, and take it from there. But before I get started, I want to introduce the folks that are here with me. So first of all, you got the Husky Hokage himself, one half of the Victory Road podcast, one third of the Things People Don't Say podcast. Marcus, what's going on today?
What's going on, man? I'm excited. I see some of these tag teams I've watched like just in amazement. So I'm ready to get started, man. I'm doing good. I'm ready to get started though.
Okay, so opening question: do you have a favorite tag team?
Favorite tag team of all time? Uh it would probably be. Oh man, I want to say maybe it's between like the Hardys and the Dudleys. So those are like two of my top, like they like one and two on my list. I can't never decide. They flip flop from time to time. Those are some.
Okay,
Those are probably it's between those two for me.
okay, all right. Well, we'll keep that in mind because they're definitely on the list, both of them. And then we
Yes.
have he's my brother here. Buck, how you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here. I don't get to hang out with y'all too often, so I love it when I can. And I'm always down to talk a little wrestling with y'all. So hey
Oh,
Man,
man, let's get it.
that's what's up. So who do you have a favorite tag team as well?
Oh bro, Heart Foundation all day.
They right
that's
there
a
up
That's
at
like
the top.
that is
yeah.
like my one all time. I'm a big Bret Hart fan. So
All right.
Same,
Well,
same.
without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and explain this. So everybody's gonna have their own vote. And then I'm also gonna give you guys one. I'm gonna call it a crotch chop. So it's so that if you want to use this one, so say for instance, uh we're looking and Buck wants to go ahead and save the Heart Foundation from losing to Hall and Nash. He can be like, you know what, I'm gonna give you guys a crotch chop. They're going on. So you can be able to do that. You get one per everything. So, but you can't use it in the finals either. So that's the rules of the game. So we get to go ahead, put this stuff together, and see how everybody likes it. So we're gonna go ahead and start off at the top. We have Eminem, that's Melina, Nitro, and Mercury versus the New Age Outlaws. So what y'all got? What you thinking?
Um, I'm I'm leaning towards the New Age Outlaws. I know a little bit more of their history, and they have like probably one of the greatest openings. You know what? Like the they announced like Road Dogg's introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they probably one of the greatest introductions. So I'm probably leaning more towards the New Age Outlaws on this one.
All right, Buck. What about you?
honestly, man, I gotta go with them too. Eminem was cool, but like I'm gonna tell you the one thing I remember
Sure.
about Eminem the most is when Joey Mercury got towed up by that lap.
Yeah, and then he had the mask on his face.
That's it, man. They weren't a bad team, but people remember them for Melina more than anything else.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I definitely got to go with the New Age Outlaw.
All right, so we got the New Age Outlaws winning the first one. Um,
I would say you got to put when you. I would say we do this live. I'm sorry. I would say if this was being recorded, you got to go back and add the introduction. The ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Like you got to go back.
yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Generation X proudly brings to you the tag team champions
Team
of the
champions of the
world.
world, bruh.
So, yeah, man. They used to have that. So, all right, next one: Heart Foundation versus Hall and Nash, also known as the Outsiders.
So I already
You
go.
know my vote. So
I already know a book. Look, I already know a book going. So I like Harlan Nash. They were a good team, but if they're going against the Hart Foundation, bruh, like I'm I'm also a big Bret Hart fan. Like Bret Hart is in one of my top favorite wrestlers. So I'm leading the Hart Foundation with this one as well.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give Nash, and they're gonna get my sympathy vote just because R.I.P. Scott Hall. But the Hart Foundation got it though. All right. So this one is a matchup of like the TNA uh tag teams, and they were damn good. I remember they had a best of 7 series, and they like tore the roof down. So Motor City Machine Guns versus Beer. Somebody gonna do money?
Money.
Yeah,
My bad.
there you go. Yeah, it just left me hanging.
I'm sorry.
So who you got first? But
I like beer money. But sorry about your damn luck. The Motor City Machine Guns are still making waves in pro wrestling. So I'm gonna give my vote to the Motor City Machine.
okay.
All right, so so I am gonna actually lean towards Big Money. What's up, Hearn? What's going on, man? I'm gonna lean towards Big Money on this one. I'm going Big Money with this one.
Oof. Uh
Let's go. This up to you, Sensei.
yeah, see, I'm gonna have to go with Motor City Machine Guns simply because they still doing it together.
Hey,
and,
hey, you
and
right?
like and they kind of revolutionized the style of like tag team wrestling that we have today. Like before,
Yeah.
it was popular to be small and going up against the big guys. That's what they would always do. So it's I got to go with them. So the next one, we got the Hardy Boys versus the Lucha Bros.
I'm. It's Hardy's. It's Hardy's. I like the Lucha Bros, but I'm going Hardy's. I gotta go Hardy's.
I gotta go Hardy's too.
Uh, all right, no, I'm not.
Don't
I'm
make it
not.
unanimous. Don't make it unanimous. Look at it.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and go with the Hardys. I was contemplating because the Lucha Bros,
Don't
they
use your crotch shot
yeah,
for this.
not on the Lucha Bros. They haven't earned enough for me to use it up from that point. So the Young Bucks versus the Usos, two brothers together.
Ooh.
What you got? Sucker Free Society.
Oh man, this is this
Mhm.
first round, like this is this this is a
Herb
this is a
said Team
dream match.
Bushwhackers forever.
Hey. So, I was I talk with that later. So this is like a dream matchup in real life. Like to see them for me, I
Mhm.
to see them go at it.
Ew. Sorry, he said it.
Man,
So I had to say it.
I'm gonna go. I like the Young Bucks. I like what they can do, but I'm going Usos.
Oof.
I'm going Usos with this.
I really like the Bucks, but
Mm.
I mean, them boys grew up 45 minutes from me. I gotta go with the Pensacola boys, man. I gotta go with the Usos. I
Hey,
gotta go with the Usos.
Well, I'm a crotch shop, y'all.
oh,
I'm a crotch shop, y'all.
he's
Young Bucks
pulling it out.
simply because the Young Bucks, like, they started out really, really young. I like the fact that even though they're assholes, like they're really nice, like stuck up assholes, like they're nice boys, but you can tell that they're assholes. And then the moves that they come up with and the risks that they take make it really, really entertaining. I would love to see the Usos play like fight against more diverse groups. You know what I mean? Because they only play against about a couple of people. You know what I'm saying? Herm, you got to pay attention, man. We got the Snyder brothers in here too, I believe. Yes, we do.
You know, I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I know we're gonna move on because we got a big bracket. I don't disagree with what you say about the Young Bucks and the fact that they put that investment in with Cody to do All In, and then eventually to giving us an alternative to the WWE. I think one thing that really stands out for me about the Usos, and the reason that I chose the Usos, is the fact that we watched them grow from them like real young boys that were still trying to find their way to what they doing right now is
Yes.
like cinema. You know
And
what I'm
see,
saying?
I
So that's what
agree.
made me pick the Usos. But
that's where I'm at with Buck, because I remember when they used to come out in like the colorful, had the little face paint, and
right,
they were, what I'm saying,
They
they
big
were,
hoes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, them Usos, and then I remember when they flipped the switch. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I remember when they flipped the switch, they came out and they had the black on, they had basically the Air Force Ones, the high top Air Force One, like they switched up their whole gimmick and they just went with
Mhm.
it, and I was like, but yeah,
it felt more like them than a gimmick. And
Yes,
yes,
that's what makes the best talent, man. When you can see it in them.
absolutely.
yes.
So the next one we got LAX. I don't know because they've got a couple different so it kind of depends on what you guys want to do with that one versus Eddie Guerrero and Chavo, his nephew.
Mm,
Um,
Because
I
Homicide and what was Big old, I forget it, Hernandez.
was it Hernandez? Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to say Homicide
yeah.
and Hernandez version of LAX. Woo.
Because like man, he would pounce people on accident. Like that's crazy. On accident? Like my bad. Like they called him the Mexican Superman, and then eventually he got a Superman S on his chest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with LAX. I like Eddie and Chavo,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you know what I mean. Like, and two, there have been so many incarnations of LAX, and
Mm-hmm.
all of them have made waves in their own kind of way. So I think I'm
Mm-hmm.
still with LAX.
Okay. Marcus Husky.
all right, so I actually am leaning more towards Eddie and Chavo. I've seen more of their matches and them together than I have with LAX. So that's just me, but I'm rolling with Eddie and Chavo with this
I'm gonna go LAX simply because like I felt like Eddie and Chavo were just doing what Eddie was doing by himself, but then he was just on a tag team.
I can see that.
So that's the only reason that I would do that from here. Um so yeah, that's what I would do. Hold on one second. I thought I had the Steiners are in there. Um
I just saw the next one.
yes, so we got Road Warriors versus Edge and Christian.
one.
Nacho Libre would have to find a partner. Who would Nacho Libre's partner be? Herm, you
Who?
tell me who would Nacho Libre's partner be?
So I'm going to go, and Road Warriors are historic Hall of Famers. I know
Mhm.
all of that, but they were a little bit before like I said, not before my time. I've seen some of their matches, but I know of Edge and Christian. Like I've seen the TLC matches,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna go with Edge and Christian with this one.
All right, attorney, what you got, man?
Part of me really want to say Road, but I think I'm gonna have to go Edge and Christian too. Um, just because they played a more pivotal part in my lifetime watching wrestling.
Upper
Um,
management got Edge and Christian from upper management.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
there we
but
go.
I have seen they still call it the Road Warrior pop when an arena goes crazy
Yeah.
Mhm.
for a person. You know what I'm saying? But the Road Warriors had, like you said, I think they were before a little bit before. Most of their primary work was a little bit before all of our time. So yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah. Yeah.
I just did my 5 second post, so you already know what it is.
ahead.
All right, so the next one is the Bar versus the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin versus and Charlie Haas.
Mm.
So I like this one because this one is like technical versus just beat you in the chest. And like
Mm.
neither one of them really had like characters for real, for real. They were just like, hey, we're good at what we do.
Yeah.
So this
Let's
is
work.
telling me whether or not you prefer like that technical style versus just somebody just punching you in the chest 10 times.
And you got, I mean, you got a little technical with the bar. You know, you had yes, Cesaro. I mean, he was strong. He had some, but it
He was
wasn't as
uppercutting the shit out you. He wasn't he was
you're a fan of a good.
he was uppercutting the shit out you.
He'll
He
put
wasn't
a
doing nothing else.
he'll put you in
And
the ring, put you
swinging
on the
you.
side of the corner, go from east side, boom, come. Ah,
You getting you getting kick and swung. That's it.
you
And
right, you
and
right,
uppercutted.
you
Uh,
right.
upper
Uh,
management said world's greatest tag team.
that is a good pick. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm going with the bar. I'm gonna go with the bar, just cause I'm going with the bar, and I love Shelton Benjamin, but I'm going with the bar.
I feel like him. I like Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
Boy,
Go for the
here
ball.
we go. I'm gonna go give. I really thought the world's greatest tag team because I love their little leapfrog move that they did, where they hold him up and then just jump on his back. Like that's some stuff that you do when you play wrestling with your cousins and stuff, and you just want to be able to like, oh, that's how you get in trouble too. But you know that's for another time. So yeah, we got that. So the next one, Gallows and Anderson versus Kane and Undertaker. So I just feel like this is just gonna be hard hitting all day. Nathan said he was going with the bar too, so I guess I was in the minority in that situation. Me and upper management.
I think I just with that situation, like I know who Charlie Hart is. I didn't say great tag team. However, I was more of a fan of Shelton Benjamin and his work. So that
There you go.
for me.
Yeah,
But so Gallo Anderson versus Kane and Undertaker. Um, mm,
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna
okay,
go
I'll say go ahead.
Gallows and Anderson because they were like a true tag team. And I understand Kane and Undertaker, they were more main events. And whenever they put them together, I felt like they were putting them together because they didn't have anything for them to do in the uh single stuff. And by the way, Kane and Big Show are just like tag team whores. Whenever they ain't had nothing else to do, they always used to put the tag titles on them with somebody else. It was X Pac with Kane. It was RVD with Kane. It was he tagged with a bunch of people. Daniel Bryan with Kane. Uh, what was it? Jericho. Uh, Kane and Undertaker. Kane or Big Show and Undertaker. Like they just didn't have nothing else to do, and that's why they didn't respect. I think the tag team division. But I'm off my soapbox. That has been my TED talk.
I'm gonna follow suit, sir. Gallo and Anderson. And
All right.
one of the reasons one of the reasons I watched uh the match he had over this past year
Mm-hmm.
in New Japan where he lost, ended up losing the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he did pretty good by himself. So, but yeah, I'm Gallows and Anderson.
I don't like Kane now when he's political.
Hey, yeah,
Kane on some other stuff as mayor of
I like
Knox
the
County.
wrestler Kane. I don't like the
You don't like Glenn
real person,
Jacobs?
the person in real life. How about that? There you go.
Yeah.
That's a better way of putting it. There you go.
Hey, random thing because I haven't taken my medicine and I'm ADD. I saw Kane's wife. Kane's wife looks like his mom. Like it was horrible. Oh my god! Like
Find a picture. Somebody find a picture. I ain't seen it yet.
she
Oh boy.
she looks like a crypt keeper. It's not pretty, bro.
That's
Not the crypt keeper, man.
She is
He ain't lying.
not attractive.
Ooh.
He loves her for her personality.
Ugh.
That's so that's anyways, I digress.
Okay.
Eternity.
So we got Gallows and
Oh,
Anderson.
Gallows and Anderson.
Okay, cool. All right, Gallows and Anderson. All right, DIY versus AOP. Yeah, this is a battle of the NXTs.
DIY. I'm going
DIY.
with DIY.
That's an easy one for me.
That's DIY, bro. Like ALP could have been so much more, but DIY, man, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I got you. You know what I think would be really, really good though?
Hayes.
Yeah. 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 So what was it? I was thinking about I think that AOP would have been great if they had somebody like Paul Heyman as the people that like spoke for them, and then they just were beating the hell out of people. Like they were really good when they went with Seth Rollins for a little bit. Yeah, they had their manager,
like
and
that.
then after that they were good. But I think they just kind of fell victim to good old Vince. So it is what it is in that situation.
Yeah.
Now this is a good one too. The Briscoes versus Dean Malenko and Chris Benoit.
RIPJ, man. I gotta go with the Briscoes.
RIPJ, Malenko, and Benoit. No, I gotta go with Malenko and Benoit, bro. Like I watching them two. Like I remember seeing Malenko and Benoit go at each other, and then they end up getting put as a tag team and being in the Four Horsemen. Bro, But I mean, I understand.
See, that's how I felt about the Bar. Because if you remember, they had that best of 7 series.
Yes, I remember.
Each other out.
It was as in the words of Big E, there was two big men slapping meat. Some meat
slapping meat. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go Briscoes. I just couldn't see putting Chris Benoit.
Don't wanna. Yeah, I'm not gonna use it. I get it, and I started to use my my cross shot, but I'm not. I'm gonna let this one go.
I mean, if you want to, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm okay.
Upper management said Benoit and Dean Malenko. Okay, next one. Steiners versus the APA or the Acolytes.
Bro, you got you got the governors of suplex, the state of suplex. You got the governors, bro, like, or the presidents of the United States of suplex, bro. Like I'm as much as I like AOP, much as I like Farouk and Bradshaw, it's the Steiners for me. Like it's the Steiner brothers, man.
Same. I gotta go with the Steiners.
The fact that there's the Frankensteiner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
But like we got to take a moment to really acknowledge the fact that Bradshaw, no matter how big of a bully he is, threw a hell of a clothesline.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
It I would never ever. They give me an option to take that or like a power bomb from anybody else. I'm taking any kind of power bomb. Oh, you gonna take one from JBL, like one of them good wind up ones? I remember it was like 3 or 4 years ago when it had to be like 5 years ago now, where they were fighting the whatever that group was that looked like they were in Mad Max, and he warmed up his arm like this, and then after that he ran to the rope and then just decapitated a poor man. I didn't understand. Yeah. I didn't think he deserved that.
And I see other people like what's the guy in New Japan. It's called the Rain. He uses kind of like
Okada.
He calls it the Rainmaker or whatever. Hangman has like the buckshot or whatever lariat, but none of them compare to the clothesline from hell.
Yeah,
we're
talking the early '80s ones where before before Scott Steiner was like, "We're my freaks." Yeah. Big Papa Pump's got your hook up. Holla if you hear me. Oh, he was good though.
He was.
Yeah, so
had that worm vein sitting on top of his muscle, but
man, listen. All right, so we got Paul London and Brian Kendrick versus FTR.
7-star FTR
I
all
was
day.
gonna say, come on, bro. It's the
I
revival,
I
baby.
mean, I had to ask y'all.
I
Like,
get it. I get it. It's the revival.
I had to ask. Next one, we got Gorillas of Destiny versus Redragon. O'Reilly and Fish, or them Samoan boys.
For me, this is a hard one.
Yes, it is.
Because I like Red Dragon,
but not more.
But
not more than God.
Bruh, God is so instrumental in what became one of the greatest factions of our generation, and it's still continued
for life.
I gotta go with God. I gotta go with Gorillas.
Hey, speaking of Bullet Club, real quick, you guys can actually go to the blerdsyndicate.com, use the code with the BS and get 20% off. We actually have Blerd Club shirts that are our mock version of the Bullet Club shirts. So
myself, I just don't have it on today, but I have one.
It is a-okay. So do yourself a favor, level up your gear, level up your attire, and join the BS. So that is my promo of the evening.
Hey,
I'm saying, Husky.
Can't beat it. Can't beat that with a stick, people.
Nah. You're not.
I am. I'm gonna probably go Redragon or Red Dragon.
So I've seen more because I've seen more Redragon just because they've actually been, they were in NXT. They held the titles for a little bit. I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with them because they were kicking people in the chest kind of hard too. And you got to respect that, So that's where we're gonna go. So the next one, I do it. So I think I know where everybody's going on this one. Am I right?
I like. I mean, I like the Street Profits for what they are, but against the Deadlies, it's the Deadlies.
It's the Dudleys. I figured as much. We saved ourselves a little time. All right, the last one of the first round: Harlem Heat versus the New Day. I can't bring it up any further, so you just have to trust me.
Harlem. So Hulk Hogan, we coming for you. I love Harlem Heat. They were amazing tag team. However, like the New Day, even I know a lot of people have their issues with them now, or how they've been over the past few years. But the New Day, what they've done and how they've done what they've done, I'm gonna go with the New Day for me.
I go with the New Day too. I think that they turn lemons into lemonade.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they kind of, especially Xavier Woods voted on himself, kind of believed in himself for that group.
Right.
And then decided to, then they were going to be preachers, and then they had to go through all that mess. You know what I mean? You got to respect the fact that they were, made, and they made themselves. They wrote their own ticket in that situation.
Right.
So we in the second round. So we got the New Age Outlaws versus the Hart Foundation.
I'm sticking with my squad.
I'm rolling with the Hart Foundation.
Yeah. The New Age Outlaws didn't do too much to like make me be like, oh yeah, I really want them.
Yeah. I like I said, they did their piece, but now they not against the Hart Foundation.
No. Motor City Machine Guns versus the Hardys.
I'm going Hardys.
I gotta go hardest too.
I'm right there with you. Motor City Machine Guns, we appreciate you coming out. We'll see you. See you on the way out. So, Young Bucks versus LAX.
Young Bucks.
Bucks.
Going Young Bucks.
Yeah, I thought this was a little bit more difficult than what I thought it would be. Edge and Christian versus The Bar. That'd be a great matchup, though.
That
It would
would.
be.
It would, but I'm going Edge and Christian.
I gotta go Edge and Christian. The first round was hard. This one,
Yeah, the first round was a little bit harder. So
Gallows and Anderson versus DIY.
Okay, so
Hmm.
I'm going DIY. I'm going DIY on this one.
I'm gonna go DIY too.
Well, I was gonna go Gallows and Anderson, but there we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, now this is a tough
Here
one.
we go.
The Briscoes versus the Steiners. I feel like the Briscoes are like no, like they were rough like the Steiners were, but the Steiners just were suplex machines at the same time, which made them just crazy. But then after that, like the way that the Briscoes used to fight, and especially their last like little feud that they had with FTR,
Yeah.
that was chef's kiss. What do you think?
I'm going Steiners. I'm going Steiners for me.
I'm gonna go Briscoes.
Shit. I was hoping y'all would make it easy for me.
It's on you, Sensei.
I'm going. I'm gonna go. Steiners. I'm gonna go Steiners. Because no. Fuck. All right, no, I'm going Briscoes because the Briscoes. I liked how Jay used to talk. Like he gave them a little bit of. Neither one of the Steiners were really great talkers at the time when they were together. Like they were just like, "Hey, we're gonna beat your ass up." Like Jay was like, "Okay, we got this country swag with us," and like they were unapologetically them. So I got to give them a little bit more just for their style. So, the next one, I'm guessing. Well, go ahead,
The Revival.
The Revival.
That's what I thought. The Dudleys versus the New Day.
Okay, so can we get a 3-on-3? Nah, I'm sticking with the New Day. I think this would be a good match if we had to play out. But I think the New Day would get the edge. Would be able to pull it out on this one.
I'm gonna go with the Dudleys, and I like the New Day. I like the New Day a lot, but I think about what the Dudleys have done across organizations and what they've done in tag team wrestling. I'm
gonna go with the Dudleys myself, simply because they are equal opportunity ass whoopers. Like when they put 80-year-old women through tables and women in general on tables, and they don't care. You know, there's a certain amount of respect you got to give them for that.
That was a different time of wrestling. It was a different time.
That was.
But so one sidebar real quick. I did not know that in Japan that women used to wrestle the men. Like I've seen multiple highlights from multiple matches where the women were wrestling the men. I saw one that she was getting. I know her titties was just hurting because he was chopping the shit out of her. I was like
You're
God
like,
damn.
stop it, you're hurting her. No, man.
But I was just shocked, bro. Like, well, yeah.
Well, I mean, we got it. Sometimes you win some, you lose some.
Hey.
So this is where I think, because this is where I think your crotch chops are gonna come in handy here. But so we got the Hart Foundation versus the Hardys.
You
I'm gonna go
ahead.
last. I'm gonna go last.
You go last? Okay. Oh man. I'm kind of as much as I want to go with the Hart Foundation. Like the Hardys were instrumental to like that Attitude Era, and like they were one of the prominent tag teams, probably the tag team that people go back to. Like I remember in creating my character in WWE when WrestleMania 2000, I had to have the khaki pants or the pants like they did. Like I made sure my character had that. Swanton Bomb, like the whole I'm gonna go Hardys. I'm going Hardys.
I'm gonna go Hardys too. Because I want Eternity to use his cross chop, and I want to hear why.
But I'm not.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I love the Hart Foundation, and I love Bret Hart. Just I always have. A lot of people thought Bret Hart was a boring wrestler. He didn't have the best mic skills, but when it came to the in ring, he was good. Anvil was more of the mouthpiece between the two of them.
Yeah.
But remember earlier we was talking about that Road Warrior pop?
yeah.
Do you remember
Mm-hmm.
at WrestleMania 33?
Yup.
I gotta go with the Hardys, man.
Man,
They
the fact,
have, people still want to see the Hardys wrestle together.
Yeah.
And I just, for what they've done for tag team wrestling, I think that gives them the edge over the Hart Foundation. So
Yeah. I remember that. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I remember because the New Day were hosting, and everybody thought like the New Day would go strip, just take their clothes off or something. Had their wrestling attire on up under, and then you hear the music or whatever, and the Hardys come out of nowhere. It was like, whoa! Like my mind was blown. I wasn't expecting that at all, and my mind was blown. That was like one of the last times.
I'm gonna tell you what's even crazier. I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but they wrestled the night before.
Exactly what I was
Ring
going
of
to say.
Honor against the Young Bucks in a ladder match.
Mm-hmm. And so then the Young Bucks were like, the Hardys told the Young Bucks thank you because they took care of them really, really well so that they could be able to go the next night. Because the rumor was, it was like, oh yeah, so the Hardys are coming back to WWE, and then after that they were like, no, they got a wrestling match the night before. So everybody was like, damn, they not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll show up on the Monday afterwards. And so then everybody was like, okay, they're gonna have the New Day versus the Hardys. And then they just came out and everybody was like, oh, they wrestled 2 nights in a row, two ladder matches. Yeah. 2 ladder matches too, because it was and so then after that it was like, damn. So that, and then Matt came out in his broken attire too, deleting shit. Yeah. And so we was like, oh, they didn't make them go back to just regular, cargo khakis.
Right.
So, yeah, I give it to him. All right, the next one: Young Bucks versus Edge and Christian.
This is something that I would pay to see this have been acted out in real life when we had Edge and Christian as a tag team in their prime versus the Young Bucks. Right, that would have been a match for you, for your ass, bro. Like
Yeah.
it just like you. So what I mentioned earlier with some of the stuff, the TLC ladder matches that Edge and Christian have had, and like the matches I've seen with the Young Bucks, they've had, just throughout their time wrestling, like see them go at it like that, it would have been, it would have been amazing. But for this situation, I think the Young Bucks will pull it out. I'm going to Bucks on this one.
I'm gonna go Edge and Christian.
Why are you going Edge and Christian?
Longevity, the phases for what they've done in wrestling. I feel like we've watched the Young Bucks be the same Young Bucks, whether they heel or face. And I like when wrestlers can evolve and reinvent themselves over time. They're not a tag team anymore, but I mean, Edge and Christian are still putting on good matches. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Young Bucks will eventually do that, but I like how both Edge and Christian can stand solo, and they make one hell of a team. So I think I still stick with it.
That's a good pick.
I think I'm gonna go Young Bucks, just because the Young Bucks, to me, like I like how they kind of give the finger to the system, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I like the fact that like they were one of the first like tag teams that I saw that really kind of chained some of their moves together like they did. Where they super kick somebody and then they do the see and then they jump on the ropes and then they do that was the part that I really appreciated. So that I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Young Bucks. So all right, so DIY versus the Briscoes.
Give me a second on this one. Somebody else can go first on this one.
I'm gonna go Briscoes. I'm gonna still go Briscoes. I like DIY, but the Briscoes have done way more in tag team wrestling. And if we talking tag team tournament, I gotta go with the Briscoes.
Buck makes a valid point, and I am going to agree with him and go with the Briscoes.
All right, there we go. We all in that thing. So FTR versus the Dudleys.
I'm gonna still go FTR.
I'm going with the Revival.
All right, there we go. Because I was the same way. Like, I appreciate what the Dudleys did, but I think all right, so upper management has names for wrestlers when she doesn't remember their names. So she doesn't remember Dax's name, but she listened to the audio podcast with Renee, and he was talking about his loose belly fat. So she calls him loose belly all the time. And so when I was thinking about it, I was like loose belly. I was like, damn it, no, what's his real name? So when Dax cuts like I think some of the best promos. Like, I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to the one time he was cutting a promo and he was just chilling and he was talking about Booker T, and he was like I ain't got to ask for permission, because he was talking about how Booker T had talked about FTR and was like, yeah, we mopped the floor. Harlem Heat would mop the floors with them. And so then he was like, nah, I can go where I want to. He's like, I got a contract that lets me do it. He's like, you the one that got to ask Vince. Vince is your daddy in this situation. I was like, whoa.
Let's go.
So I was like, after that, I was like, I don't want any parts of Dax in any kind of conversation. So, so now we made it to the quarterfinal rounds, fellas. So we got the Hardys versus the Young Bucks.
Oh man. So this is it's a good one. Uh, I I'm one of y'all.
Just
I say it.
And by the way, this is the last round. Y'all can use your crotch chops.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go harder.
It's like two sides of the same coin, though. So,
Yep.
so
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm thinking.
it's like the Hardys. The Hardys were like the predecessors, and like the Young Bucks just essentially took their formula and made it better, and stayed away from drugs, and found ways not to really do the same, like the pitfalls that the Hardys did. But without the Hardys, you wouldn't have the Young Bucks. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so that's the thing. That's where the trouble is. Ooh.
I'm gonna go Bucks. I'm gonna roll with the Bucks on this one.
All right, I'm gonna go Bucks too because I used my thing to get them out of the first round.
And this is where I'm gonna use my crotch chop.
Oh damn!
There you go.
I knew it was coming. I want somebody else to use their crotch chops. So the Hardys have made it to the finals. So that's where we are. So the Briscoes versus FTR.
FTR for me.
I'm gonna go FTR too.
I'm gonna go FTR because Dax and the way he cuts promos now, you can't tell him shit though. Like,
That was if both y'all were in Briscoes, I was using my crotch shot. I'm FTR, bro. Like this. Man.
And they came back on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So finally, the Hardys FTR. It's two different styles.
It is. And I know I just saved the Hardys, man, but I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm gonna go FTR.
I was gonna give FTR my crotch shot. Crotch shot if they had they not made it, man. But this is you got the Hardys, man, and it's.
But here's the thing: they are the antithesis of each other. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause FTR is like, I remember on their shorts sometimes they had no kicks, no flips, just punches.
No flips, just fists.
Yeah, something like that. So like, and they were all against everything that the Hardys were doing. You know what I mean? They were like, we're not that type of wrestling, and they brought back the old school type of wrestling where they just beat your ass, and like the only time they left the ground was to do that spike pile driver, and that was about it. Like,
but it works though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They did all this stuff, and they was like, oh no, drop kicks, no, we're just gonna stomp you. Like that is still the same. It still does the same thing, and I don't have to leave my feet. So
I assume you going FTR then too, huh?
I don't know, man. Like, because the Hardys revolutionized everything that's here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't have these matches where people like. So the thing is, I was listening, like I was thinking about how they kind of changed the way that we cheer. You know what I'm saying? Because like beforehand, like no one was taking the risk that the Hardys were taking, and it kind of reminded me of honestly watching anime and how you cheer for somebody to go beyond their limits, and that's what the Hardys did every time. I'm kind of stuck. So did you who did what?
I'm going FTR. I'm going FTR.
So you gonna make me really choose between the Hardys and FTR. And then when I think of trying like their entertainment value and the way that they speak, like Dax speaks well. All right, I'm gonna go with the Hardys, just because of the delete, because they reinvented themselves with that.
They did.
And the fact that it was something that they did on their own, and like they came up with their own, like when they were at Impact, and then they brought it over, and then they tried to take it wherever they went, because it's just like whatever you want to watch in that certain day. Like either style is great, and they do hella work. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Hardys, just not only out of the respect for what they've done, but also what they do when Jeff Hardy is not in jail or in trouble. Cause so we got our winners for this one. We got the Hardys winning the tournament this time. So how do y'all feel about how we got here?
I say
some of the matches are hard to do. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. I would you finish. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say some of these matchups were hard, especially like the first round. The second round was easy, but then when we got to the third round, it got more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
But I mean, I don't disagree with where we ended. So
yeah,
I still think FTR should have pulled that out. However, it this like Buck you said, it went from hard to, the second round was pretty easy. It was some matchups in there that I really, really would love to see. If not speaking of FTR versus Steiners, I think that would have been an immaculate match. Malenko and Benoit versus DIY. I think that would have been something amazing to watch. You got, because you might as well say you got 4 cruiserweights going at it, and Johnny Wrestling is Johnny Wrestling. Tommaso Ciampa can hold his own like no other. Like same thing. Malenko, man of 1,000 moves. Yeah, Chris Benoit, basically Mighty Mouse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that would have been a good match to watch, bro. So it's a couple of like that. There was some good some couple of matches I would love to have seen happen in real life, man. But overall, it's a good, like you can't go wrong with the Hardys either. Like the Hardys were, like I said, like a pivotal tag team in tag team history, bro. Despite all the stuff that. Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. I was gonna ask y'all, for all the tag teams that we had in this tournament, a lot of these matchups have happened. Can you pick one match that actually happened out of 2 of these teams that just stands out to you above everything else? And I know a lot of people will think like TLC matches. You think about Edge and Christian, you think about, the Hardys, and you think about the Dudleys. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, man. For me, as we started going through, it's 2 actually. It's the series, but that last match FTR had with the Briscoes was brutal. But that, and then the FTR DIY match, I think it was Takeover Brooklyn.
Ooh.
Might have been 2.
I like that triple threat that they had with AOP, DIY, and FTR.
That match was good too.
I'm gonna watch those.
And yeah, I'm being honest, man. When you think about it, it's a couple of matches up there that we have seen in triple threats, like the TLC and like that one. They were great matches. A team that didn't make the tournament, but I'm gonna give them an honorable mention, even though they're super young. Top Flight.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all watch Top Flight, but Top Flight is doing. I would love to see Top Flight get the chance to wrestle the Street Profits. I just feel like that match would be.
Oh, that yes. I agree. It's
as long as the younger brother, or excuse me, the older brother stays healthy, because he be getting hurt.
He injury prone like a mother.
Like he went outside one time. I think he got into a car accident. And it was like, we out for 9 months. And I was like, well, damn, shit.
And he had just rehabbed his leg. He had been out for like 6 months. Came back, 2 weeks later had a car accident. He was out 9 months. Like, what the hell?
I was like, you stay in a bubble, sir. Don't do nothing. So
I would say it is a couple other tag teams on that we didn't include that I think made some. They were, you know, they did, you know, they had long stints, but they did some good work when they while they were together. I'm trying to think. I don't know, a lot of people may not know them, but have seen them. But I actually liked Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, and Taylor Bate. Tyler Bate. Like, and see, I watched the match. I think last week was the last NXT, and I forget Tyler Bate is so young. Dude is only like he's still in NXT.
Yeah, he's like 25 now, but he started when he was like 18, 19.
Yeah. And he won because he won the belt. He was like what, 20, 21?
I think he was 21. 20, 21, something like that. Yeah.
And him and Carmelo Hayes had a match last
a
month.
banger.
It was. I went back and because I didn't watch it live. I went back the next day and watched it. But
yeah,
I love Carmelo Hayes, bro. I can't wait to see him get his shine on the main roster.
If Carmelo Hayes don't beat Braun Breaker for this title at Stand and Deliver, we will riot.
But you win the Stand and Delivers when?
Man, April 1st.
Okay. So they just started doing it since they put WrestleMania in 2 nights. They always have Stand and Deliver. It'd be like 1 or 2:30 in the afternoon, something like that. Okay. Yeah, because I'm assuming Braun must be going to. I'm assuming they're gonna pull them to the main roster after WrestleMania.
Most likely.
I'm thinking so. Because that's I'm like that's what I'm thinking. Because when they made the matchup, I'm like, Carmelo got to be. It's Carmelo time, bro. Like it's his time. And
it is.
So
if he don't win, he need to be on the main roster like the Raw aftermath.
Yeah.
Hey, so one of the things that I heard or people want to see is like, say for instance, them put together the Hurt Business again, and then have him be like their new up and comer, and then have like the Street Profits be there, and almost. Hey, so upper management also said that he looked like an earthbender with that outfit coming out. I love watching wrestling with her just because she'd be like, why the earthbender coming out? Like, what's going on here? So yeah, she keeps me going on that one. I love it. She calls another name is what is it? Otis. He's a weeble wobble because his arms don't come.
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. He definitely is.
He's a weeble. She calls him weeble wobble. So like, she got nicknames for everything, man. Like,
you don't have to have a like Otis. He used to wrestle.
That's funny.
Oh, if he still wrestles to this day. He used to be. I can't think. He was in the tag team in WWE, but he ended up doing. I can't think of his name. He's built kind of almost some. He look out of shape like how Otis used to look like.
You talking about what's his face that just came back?
He's not. He's still. He wrestles like on a. Is it Impact? Is he in Impact? I can't think.
Willie
he's in. Who?
Black or white?
He's white.
No.
Willie Mack is. He's good for his size. Keith Lee need to do something though. He just said fuck you.
Keith gotta. I love Keith, but he gotta. I want to need him cut weight, bro. Like
he got to.
I would love to see him back in WWE, but you gotta cut weight, bro. I want to need you to be a little less round for me. Just tone up.
When he came to AEW, I was like, oh, come on, bro. You had the time off. You should have been cutting. You know what I'm saying? I understand.
See, that's my. See, Walter did it. Like, if you go look at how Walter used to look to what he at now, bro. Walter's a whole new man. Like,
a whole new man.
So I'm loving it. And that's why he's getting the push he's getting for one. Is it scheduled a match between them at WrestleMania? Because I think I said this at the after the Royal Rumble. I would love to see a triple threat between Walter, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre.
I think that's what they're
Like
gonna do.
they got you, bro. Like that's another big men slapping meat match. Like that them and they can go. And Walter, I hope Walter keep the belt, but like they can go. That's gonna be a good match if they can if they did book it that way. But yeah.
So hey, so we're gonna wrap this one up. I want to get any final thoughts from y'all. Anything else that the viewers need to be aware of? Anything that you want to pump? I know Eternity. You got what is it? South got something to say. It comes on every Tuesday, right?
Yeah, man. Sorry, I was losing power. I had to go get myself straight. But yeah, the South got something to say. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, twitch.tv/the South. We go live every Tuesday. We try to go live around 9, most of the time 9:15. And we rock out for about an hour and a half, just catching up on all pop culture and current events. And we try to throw in a couple of little controversial topics to get y'all along the way. Also, I am one half of the Safe Word with Mystique, part of the 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say the LLC. Shout out to Surf them. But yeah, man, and we drop every first and third Friday. It is a podcast for by Black Kinksters for Kinksters of color. So if you've ever been curious about that type of stuff, definitely check us out. You can check us out on all streaming platforms, and like I said, we stream live on Facebook and YouTube. Normally, whenever we have episodes, you just have to follow us and find out. I will say this coming Monday is our version of what we do March Madness, and it has been very interesting in the past. This will be our 4th year doing March Madness, and it's going to be different this time, as we're going to actually allow the viewers to make us pick between the two. So it should be a pretty interesting episode, man. So y'all make sure y'all put in this Monday, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, they had a great conversation yesterday. I was able to chime in the last part. They started talking anime, and I was like, "That's my shit." So yeah, they always have good conversation, man. Good brothers over there. So Husky, what you got for us?
We actually had Victory Road did their version of March Madness as well. Had a collaboration with the Blerd Syndicate, of course. So we'll have to get that edited. It'll be out sometime this month.
It'll be out tomorrow. Yeah. It'll be out tomorrow. I got some stuff.
You heard the sensei. It's gonna be out tomorrow, man. So be on the lookout for that. We actually, it was your favorite. Well, it was a video game fighting character. Your fighting game. It's a video game fighting character tournament we had. We picked I think it was 22 characters from some of your favorite fighting games. Put them in the tournament and went down to who won. So tune in tomorrow to check it out to see who won, man. It was a good time.
Sweet.
Yep. So just to close out everything, y'all, we had a great time today. I think next week we're gonna try to keep with this wrestling tone, and we're gonna do stables next week, factions. So that
wrestling.
That's gonna be interesting, because you're gonna end up with people like the DX. You're gonna have like the Nation of Domination. You're gonna have the Bullet Club. You're gonna have NWO. So you're gonna have all these groups that are gonna be vibing and fighting for who has the best group, who has that best faction. So until then, we're gonna ask you to be like the Hulk, not Hulk Hogan, because F Hulk Hogan, but we're gonna ask you to be like the Hulk. We're gonna ask you to smash that follow button, and we're gonna love you 3000. But until then, we're gonna ask you to be like the NWO and be just too sweet.